Good evening, morning, or afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Overtime Champions. Today we are watching Asteri Gaming facing off against Comets. Both teams have faced off, have already had a game this season, and Asteri against Paradox with a 3-0 sweep. Both teams have already shown that they can start season off the right foot forward, so we're going to go ahead and get started into this next game for both of these teams. I'm your play-by-play caster, Bryce T, and I hope we can get this game started here pretty soon. Looks like the first match is Control on Oasis. Just a little bit of technical difficulty with getting the teams all the way in here. Looks like we're getting one of the last players coming in, adding in a sub. Perfect. So going into this game, what's really important to be looking out for, especially on Asteri's side, you have Ike running off tank and flex, so definitely a Diva Zarya. Might be looking to get a Zarya Rhine combo on Asteri's side, but on Comets might be seeing something similar. Haven't seen much from them in the past. All right, and we're getting started right here on Oasis. So just getting a quick preliminary look at the comps that we're seeing run here. We're seeing a Pharmacy potentially, Okelakai going back and forth with the DPS. Maybe, looks like selected on a Brig. And of course, we're running the Zarya Rhine, very popular in this meta, with a Zenyatta and almost an identical comp on the opposite side, except instead of a Brigitte, it looks like Frostfire with the McCree. Getting ready going into this next round. Definitely something that's popular with this comp that we're not seeing, or this meta that we're not seeing with the comp in this game yet, is definitely a Hanzo to combo well with those Zarya plays. But with a, especially at this level, Graviton with the Barrage can definitely work really well. So we're hopefully seeing something along those lines. And as this match gets started, we'll see just exactly where these teams are going to start off. Going into this fight, and we see, all right, we got a Pharmacy going up Ty. Avexos getting some shots in. Cyclone is pretty low. Oh, a quick pick on Frostfire from Spooky Cheeks. Another quick pick on hit Q. Res on Frostfire, so knocking out Okelakai on the Brig. Definitely giving advantage as points pushing. I hope Spooky Cheeks, Cyclone, and Escher all fall almost simultaneously. You got that Pharmacy going in with So and Scylla, still keeping pressure. All right, and definitely So and Scylla on that Pharmacy, definitely just pounding Asteri down, keeping them away from that point, and especially with Frostfire to keep the hit scan away from that. And you see them pushing in on left side, but Asteri is not giving them the chance to push any further than that. Or sorry, yes, Asteri taking the high ground on point, throwing that Discord down range to try and get some extra DPS. You still see that. So with the Barrage, hopefully coming in to drop it down soon. Oh, popping Valk at the beginning of the fight on both sides. Quick pick on Shield, but here comes the Barrage. Only managed to get one kill, the quick trans from Avexos, but still managed to get picked off by Ike. The res on Cyclone and the res on Shield, so both Rhines are back in with a quick Earth Shadow to knock down most of Comet, as they don't seem to have a response for it. Oh, but a quick pick. Down again, a High Noon, only managing to grab 1 kill, but still just enough to keep the point in Comet's hands. With as Hit Q and Frostfire pick off the last remaining stragglers of that fight. Coming into this next fight, you see only one ult, really. Spooky Cheeks with the barrage could be a quick game changer if it can be comboed with another ult, but it only seems like Ike is 91%. They're gonna have to build up their ult really quick to get into this next fight to try and do something against Asteri. I need to apologize. I meant to say Comets. And a quick pick on Ike from Frostfire, a headshot, as they're trying to pull back to continue the advantage. Oh, but Shield goes down. Ballsy res, but goes in just as well. Pharmacy still wreaking havoc from the side. So knocking out Spooky Cheeks, keeping air superiority. Escher with the just barely getting the res off as Frostfire nails them down. Seeing a Graviton come in. Oh, not managed to grab anybody as Rosado comes in and grabs. See a quick point grab for Comets. Not much of a contest. Alright, and you definitely see a quick 99 a few times to be contested, but Comet still managed to pull out the entirety of that map in the end. Going into this next map, we're not seeing much of a change up on comp, but we do see Scylla on this Lucio instead of the Mercy, and we see Spooky Cheeks switching off of the Zarya to the D.Va to hopefully get more of a... Oh, and it looks like... Oh, it is Ike switching to D.Va, hoping to get more of not necessarily a full dive, but definitely enough to put some pressure on So, as Scylla does switch back to the Mercy to hopefully get a Pharmacy going into this battle. Avexos off of the Zen and onto Moira, definitely a popular pick with this meta. You can see Comets taking the high ground really quick, trying to pressure Asteri off of the point, but it doesn't seem, no picks seem to be being made as of yet. A lot of damage being thrown down range, but the healers on both sides are keeping them up and keeping them healthy. And a quick pick from So as Comets is trying to cap the point, but Asteri goes and pushes them off. Avexos is down, So, Shield and So got, kills, and Rosado grabbing a kill, but Cyclone managing to push back. And it seems like Asteri has the point for the most part, still with 5% building. Frostfire grabbing 2 kills right off the bat. Alright, and it seems like that the map does go to, or sorry, the point does go to Comets into this battle. You do see Frostfire with a Deadeye going into this, but with a barrage not far behind him, as well as a Valk. Teams get ready to push into this next battle. You still see Comets holding the high ground. Definitely worked well for them last time if they can get a quick pick off and push down. But now you see that they do have ult advantage, so going into this you're going to see a lot of ults being thrown down range. So just back to back you had a... Oh, and here's the barrage. 1, 2 kills, but Avexos does manages to knock So out of the sky right before the tail end of that. Shield with a kill on Ike and their mech. Scylla rezzing So to hopefully pushing them back, but Comet still manages to hold this point. So even though they burned a lot of ults, they're still holding it, and they still do have a Trans and a Graviton going into this. Escher with the Sound Barrier coming right up, and Cyclone with the Earth Shadow, so hopefully they can, Asteri can use that to push Comets back if they can battle them on the high ground, but it doesn't seem like they have much of a response to it as they're going left and right and pushing them on the high ground. A nice shatter from Cyclone, grabbing almost all of Comets up. And Chill taking Cyclone down with him in a very sacrificial charge right there. So contesting best they can, but can't seem to stop Ike on D.Va. And if now we're seeing a switch to Asteri on this point. Going into this, you have a self-destruct and a Graviton coming in on Asteri's side, so you might see something Might see a combo there. But Comets does have Earth Shatter. Oh, and you see your Graviton coming in. And the Diva. Then doesn't seem to manage anything, but they did manage to pop. Oh, and an Earth Shatter coming in. They did manage to pop the trans from the Zen, so they don't have a support ult going into this battle. You see Spooky Cheeks taking So out of the sky. Oh, but Shield going in with the triple kill right there. Scylla getting the res on So to bring them back. The point is now 80% in Comet's favor. Only ult they have going into this last battle is Deadeye, which can be very volatile in the wrong situation. Popping the rally to get some extra armor before this push. You do see a sound barrier, so you're going to see that popping soon. Pharmacy going in and raining some justice from above. You're seeing Frostfire get in position to hopefully pop that Deadeye. Deadeye's going in. Shields are up, not managing to pick anyone off. Does pick off Cyclone, a big pick. Not a main tank for Asteri on this battle. Shield knocking down O'Kelly. Earth Shatter from Shield again. So not knocking down Escher after that sound barrier. And another Justice from above. That's knocking Ike out of their mech and can't seem to get a contest on that point. First map goes to Comets after a very well executed high ground hold on that point. Especially seeing as they weren't on the point most of the time, they used that advantage to kind of, coax Asteri into pushing them on either side and capitalize on it. And you can see here with this sacrificial charge, does manage to take out a triple kill at the cost of his own, but still managed to hold the point. 3 environmental kills on Shield's side, and you can see that in the play of the game. What a well-timed and well-aimed charge. Definitely seeing a very aggressive play from Shield on Reinhardt on the Comet side. And going into this next battle, it appears that Asteri didn't have much of a counter to So and Scylla running a pharmacy, and that's especially important since So managed to pop so many successful barrages on Asteri that didn't seem to have any response to it whatsoever. And going into this next one, we are getting map cancels and picks for this next fight on Escort. Or, sorry. Yes, Escort. Comets are banning Gibraltar, which is, again, a very common dive map. We haven't seen either of these teams running dive, so we're seeing them running a lot more the common meta of a Zarya Rein, especially on both sides. You did see the switch from Ike to Diva. Didn't seem to have much of an ability to capitalize on that. It is a common pick to counteract a pharmacy if it can focus the pharmacy well, but it just didn't seem like Ike had the support to do that. And so again, Silica and So just floating above Asteri and raining down Justice, unable to really do anything about it. And again, 2 wonderful wonderful barrages that just tore Asteri apart. Seeing a little bit of dispute on which map we're going to, but it seems like they are banning Gibraltar. Again, and another key point in this last game was how aggressive both Cyclone and Shield were as Reinhardt. Main tanks need to be very aggressive. Those Reinhardts need to be spamming that W key just to keep their entire team behind that massive shield and keep the team pushing forward. And with a Zarya that can time her shields really well and just pop right in front of that bubble and leapfrog back and forth and build up that ult charge. And once that ult charge is built up, you have that Graviton. It can be such a game changer, especially if you have a hero like Hanzo or a Pharah that can do a lot of damage in a small amount of area in a very short amount of time. Especially if you can get that Zenyatta to quickly pop that trans at a time that before that grav goes out, and it is just a perfect time for that high damage ult to come in. It seems like we have a switch for switching for Sobek going into this next round. And so Sobek, we've seen a lot of hit scan from her. We've seen a lot of Widowmaker and Tracer, and especially if we're going on to Watchpoint, is a very popular map for Widowmaker. So I'm hoping that we can see some really nutty shots from Sobek here. And okay, Asteri is choosing Gibraltar, like we've been saying. So and we're going into this next match, getting ready. And again, like I said, Sobek on that Widowmaker can be a very, even though So was doing wonderful on that Pharah, a very efficient and effective Widowmaker can be make or break a final push in a round. And as we get started here on Watchpoint Gibraltar, okay, and as this match starts out, we are seeing a pretty dive-heavy comp on Asteri Gaming side, especially for defense. You're seeing, a Cyclone on Winston and Ike on Diva. Holding this high ground is crucial when you're running dive on defense, especially, and on attack. Might be seeing a bit of a change there. Hopefully not a Tor, but if effective. But we are seeing Spooky Cheeks on the Widowmaker, which is a very effective choice, especially when you're running a dive-heavy comp, because a quick pick, an extra eyes downrange. But now we are seeing Sobek on the Widowmaker, so hopefully we'll see a very quick battle going into this round. And as the match starts, not much going on. The two teams are kind of just poking at each other. Sobek building up some ult charge, already at 15%. Frostfire already almost at 20% with their ult. Now we see Comets diving the high ground, pushing Asteri off, but Avexos getting the quick pick, and Cyclone on the Zen. We see Comets is already down 2 supports, and Frostfire going down as Asteri's maintaining this high ground and the holding on the point. So far it's only Chilled to contest, but we see a hit Q demeched already. Chilled knocking down Okelikai again, knocking down Okelikai as they've given up the high ground. Spooky Cheeks with the sonar arrow on Sobek, not giving her much of an opportunity to get those important picks. We see Cyclone diving Comet's backline, taking down both of their healers, and as you can, almost a team wipe here as hit Q is demeched. And Spooky Cheeks off of the Widowmaker onto the Hanzo, almost building their ult completely. We're seeing Cyclone already at primal range. Only 2 ults for Comet, so they're going to have to build up some ults before they're going into this next battle. They do have just over 2.5 minutes, so they have time to build up a strategy before they dive straight first into this. But we do see Escher almost every ult on Asteri's side as hit Q is diving in, trying to get a quick pick, but can't seem to pop it. The Valk is popped, as is the Dragons. Frostfire popping the Dragon Blade. And a quick trans from Avexos to quickly save their team. Didn't manage to get anyone else. Spooky is rezzed by Escher. Won't be punished for that. Again, a double kill on both sides. Shield knocking down Zen and Frostfire on Escher. So Comets is Asteri is going into this without any supports. Hit Q knocking down Okelikai with just under 100 hit points, giving Comets the ability to push this payload almost all the way to the edge of this last point. If Asteri can give one last push onto this, we do see a lot of ults coming in to be used right here. Kelly Kai with the Dragon Blade and knock, hopefully. Oh, we do see the trans popping in response to that. Ike popping their self-destruct, not popping anyone else, but we do see Frostfire taking out Spooky Cheeks and Avexos. Dragon Blade on Frostfire's side does manage to get the dash on Spooky. Not a lot of kills from that Dragon Blade, but was enough to zone them back off of the point so that Comets can capture this next point going in. Frostfire knocking down Kelly Kai at the tail end of that fight, getting pretty deep into the line, just about halfway to where this payload needs to be, leaving the healers to clean up the mess, sorry, not the mess, to push the payload the rest of the way. Sobek we're seeing off of Widowmaker onto the Tracer. And going into this, all we see is a primal range on shield, hit Q, and the Valk is popped to start this fight off. As Asteri is pushing hard on this very beginning part of this section of the map. We're seeing a primal rage pop from Shield, hit Q, getting a kill on Spooky as Shield gets a kill on both healers and Kelly Kai. What a primal rage we're seeing on Shield's side. He needs to cool down, my friend. Hit Q, popping Ike, and then we see a team kill coming in on Comet's side. Sobek with the pulse bomb and hit Q with a self-destruct. We're seeing almost very explosive ults coming in on Comet's side. Primal Rage almost being popped in on Asteri's side. We're seeing trans popped for Asteri as hit Q is body blocking, but gets knocked out of the mech as Spooky Cheeks Dragons takes out both tanks for Chilled, leaving their team almost perfectly exposed as O'Kelly gets the Dragon Blade on Scylla, forcing Comets to be pushed back. We're seeing a self-destruct coming in on Asteri's side and Valkyrie, so we're only seeing 2 ults going into this fight. But on Comet's side, we do see a Dragon Blade, Trans, and a Pulse Bomb. So if Sobek can get that Pulse Bomb down onto, we're seeing a battle on high ground. Only Cyclone and 2 of Comet's tanks, so we're not going to see. It's a battle for high ground to see who can capture it first. As we're seeing Spooky Cheeks switching to the D.Va. And a Dragon Blade coming in on Frostfire, gets a quick pick on Avexos, leaving that possible trans out of the window. Escher rezzing Avexos and popping Valkyrie, but we see Spooky stuck by Sobek. Chilled knocking down Cyclone. 2 quick picks. Sobek popping off again and taking out Avexos. A quick DMech on Ike and Frostfire popping Escher. But O'Kelly Kai getting the last pick on Sobek, but quickly res. So going into this next fight, we are seeing not much of a change-up in these comps. We are seeing the Brigida to hopefully try and combat that really aggressive Frostfire and Sobek combo that can just get in quick, deal a lot of damage, and pop back out. Hit Q and Chilled are both getting ready to pop their ults. We're seeing Cyclone diving the backline, knocking out Rashado, and just going straight for that Mercy, popping Primal Rage to backing her in a corner. Spooky Cheeks does get the kill on Scylla and Chilled, so knocking down 2 big players on that team, forcing Comets back into their spawn. Cyclone with that last kill on Frostfire. We're seeing a rally preemptive for this next battle from Spooky to hopefully build up some extra armor for the rest of their team. Sobek with the Pulse Bomb going into this. O'Kelly Kai with a Dragon Blade. Only ult that we see on Asteri's side, but we're seeing Chill diving the high ground. Frostfire with Scylla support diving. Quick pick on Escher. Both healers, all 3 healers from Asteri are knocked down by Frostfire's Dragon Blade. A res from Scylla onto Rashado to grab the rest of the healers to push the rest of this point. And no one left alive on Asteri's side to help contest this point as it moves closer and closer to the final push. Are seeing both support ults on, and we're seeing a trans popped on Avexos to hopefully help Asteri out. You're seeing a quick Mace switch on from O'Kelly Kai off of the Genji to try and slow them down. Sobek with the Pulse Bomb on Cyclone, and Spooky Cheeks knocking down Sobek at the last minute. But with the res on Chilled, both tanks on Comets are both still up. Ike knocking down Q's mech and Asteri putting up the fight that they need to hold this point for the last 35 seconds. Only all that we're seeing able to be played right now is Ike's self-destruct and Escher's Valkyrie. And with that May pick, very, very quickly, the tides were turned into Asteri's hands with O'Kelly Kai on that May to slow Comets down, to slow that you know, aggressive roll down. Going into this fight, we're only seeing a Primal Rage on Comet's side, so they're going to have to time that really well to knock all of Asteri off of the point. We got O'Kelly Kai on shield here, throwing the wall up and knocking it down. And as the match goes into overtime, we're seeing a self-destruct go off. Ike using their bomb to knock Kit Q out of the mech. Frostfire with the Dragon Blade, only managing, popping a Vexos and O'Kelly Kai before getting knocked down. Sobek popping that pulse bomb to knock out both tanks. O'Kelly Kai with the Blizzard to slow down the last bits of Comet, as they can't seem to get that last final bit to push this to a 3-point game.
Score 0-2. Switching sides.
And now switching sides, we're going to hopefully see Comets running a similar comp to what they were running into this next fight. Again, Gibraltar is both a very dive-heavy map, as we've seen in the previous round. And we have Asteri on attack, running a very similar comp to what they were running on the first bit of defense. Spooky Cheeks on the Widowmaker, O'Kelly on that Genji, that very aggressive, deadly Genji. Frostfire off of the Genji, actually, and onto the Hog. We're seeing a triple DPS on Comet's side with Sobek off of the Tracer onto the Brigida. Seeing chilled on Ryan, so we're seeing a very anti-dive comp on Comet's end. And you can see them not holding the high ground. Vexos on that Zenyatta, very well-timed transits that knock out any possibility of Comets to get that really quick team kill on Asteri. We're seeing Comets not holding the high ground, leaving Asteri to wonder what's going on here. Not a traditional strat in any sense, but Asteri is still dumbfounded and looking around, can't seem to pinpoint. And the quick crash from Frostfire to the hook on Vexos, but Spooky Cheek knocking down Sobek with a quick headshot. Cyclone knocked down by Hit Q, quickly melted by that Zarya. We're seeing Asteri trying to hold the high grounds once again, but falling back to help keep their healers all together. We're seeing O'Kelly on the Junkrat off of the Genji, and we're seeing Spooky onto the Pharah. Hopefully to throw out some more concentrated damage to take out these three tanks that are just huge amounts of HP all concentrated in one spot. Going into this, we're seeing the Cyclone knocking down Hit Q. That's one tank down for Comets. Frostfire doing their best. We're seeing a Shatter coming in from Shield. Ike knocking down Sobek. Shield with a double kill on both of Asteri's healers, but the quick knockdown from O'Kelly K. But Scylla coming back. We're seeing Vroshadow with the Coalescence to knock down Spooky Cheeks, but we do see both DPS ults on Asteri's sides going into this almost just about ready. O'Kelly with the Riptire, and Spooky Cheeks just about to have their barrage. So with that Riptire coming in, we see it going over the high ground, over the bridge. Trying to see if he can get a quick pick on anyone. And we see the triple kill! All of the supports on Comet's side are knocked down in one fell swoop! Definitely pushing Comets all the way back to not able to contest for this point. And Spooky Cheeks knocking Hit Q out of their mech. Unable to really do anything all by themselves. And Asteri capitalizing on this successful push are pushing far into their line. Seeing a shatter and a self-destruct from from Ike and Cyclone, knocking down again Scylla and Sobek. Avexo's knocking down Vershadow. So again, Comets are down their healers, unable to really contest this point as Asteri just steamrolled right back over. See, going into this, seeing Frostfire with a whole hog ready to go in, but can't seem to find a spot that can really capitalize on that. We're seeing a Valk and a Trans on Asteri's side. We're seeing Valk pop to the beginning of this fight. Sound Barrier popped from Scylla on Comet's side. We're seeing a whole hog being popped. Not much to be grabbed from it with the Trans from Avexos. Hit Q popping down Spooky Cheeks, but Escher popping Spooky Cheeks back in the fight. O'Kelly knocking Crossfire down. That nice shatter from Chill just to give him a bit of breathing room as knocking Avexos down. Rocket Barrage from Spooky, not much, not can grab from it. Only grabbing Hit Q out of their mech, but can't seem to stop them from pushing the rest of this point. And a triple kill from Spooky. Grabbing Hit Q and Scylla, but not pulled out of the, knocked out of the sky from Frostfire. Cyclone popping Shadow. It is a contentious, but Asteri does manage to pop this game through. And again, 4 minutes for this last push, and almost the entirety of Asteri is on fire. Going into this, we are seeing Ike is the only one who manages to have their ult ready. Sobek, okay, so it seems like Comets is switching to a double sniper comp, which is very favored in this meta. Sobek on the Widowmaker wasn't able to really get anything going in the first round, but maybe she can turn things around for this one. Frostfire on the Hanzo, very quick charge, comboing with that, getting those dragons in can be really a real game changer. O'Kelly diving Frostfire, but gets knocked out of the sky in return. Hit Q knocking Escher down with that self-destruct, forcing Asteri to be pushed back out of their, past the staircase and back to their spawn. And we're seeing ults being built on both sides, but Asteri does have ult advantage going into this with a Valk, Trans, both support ults, and a Shatter. And we're seeing the self-destruct come in, but not managing to pick anybody, except for to grab them some time. A Earth Shatter from Shield, knocking Cyclone down, and the Coalescence from Shadow knocking Spooky Cheeks, but managing to knock Hit Q out of her mech just before falling to that Coalescence. Frostfire knocking down Avexos and forcing Asteri back out of this push. And with the last pick from Frostfire, that's all, both supports on Asteri's side, and we're seeing that was a very smart pick on Comet's side to run with that double sniper. A lot of damage being thrown out all at once. That Asteri now has to switch Ike off of the D.Va onto the Zarya to hopefully combat all that damage in one spot. And we're seeing Riptire coming in from O'Kelly. Maybe look, fingers crossed for another triple going into this next battle. Oh, but gets knocked by Sobek. Infrared going in. Two support ults on Comet's side going into this with the dragons flying in from Spooky. Crossfire knocking down Escher and Avexos, but Hit Q being knocked out of their mech. Knocked Hit Q, but as Baby D.Va still manages to knock Ike down and build up enough ult charge to get back in their mech and return to the point of the rest of the team. Spooky Cheeks showing Frostfire up as Hanzo in this battle. And a lot of ults were used on both sides, especially on Comet's side. Both support ults popped at the same time. Not sure if it was a misclick or miscommunication, but it can be detrimental to the survival of your team if both are popped at the same time, and not much is able to be stopped by that. As this battle starts back up again, we're seeing Hit Q on the high ground as D.Va just getting her self-destruct ready, dropping it down on top of the payload. Not managing to pop anybody. Scylla brings Frostfire back into the battle. Cyclone with the Flame Strike on Sobek, showing who the real sniper is. A hammer down from Chilled, not managing to pick anyone off, as that shield from Ike manages to save them. We're seeing a Dragons from Comets, holding them back. Not much distance needs to be grabbed for Asteri to bring this match into their favor, but forcing them back to their spawn nonetheless. As they build up their ults and their heals, we're only seeing a Valk on Comet's side, but with a trans on its way.
30 seconds.
On Asteri's side, however, we do see Dragons and Valk, and almost a Graviton, so we might be seeing a Dragon Surge on this last battle, as Asteri hopes to grab this last few meters to grab the win for this map. We're seeing a trans popped on a Vexos to give Asteri the charge that was canceled from Chilled. We're seeing trans popped on Comet's side. A Shatter not managing to grab anybody, but Chilled does manage to pop Cyclone. We're seeing Dragons on both sides, but it's O'Kelly Kai with a Dragon Blade that knocks Sobek out. Ike and Chilled, and it seems like Comets doesn't have a response to stop Asteri from pushing this payload to the very end. And with a quick pick on Trace that wasn't managed to grab it, Asteri pulls this round out and on the brink of overtime steals it. We're seeing a play of the game from Chilled here. I was hoping it was that triple from that Riptire that really gave Asteri the momentum they needed, but a triple kill, a quadruple kill with Primal Rage is